Hi students, welcome to Learning Management System, Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. In today's session, we'll start the third unit of the subject Data Structure using C, 15 CS 41T. Name of the third unit is Introduction to Data Structures. In last two units, that is pointers and dynamic memory allocation and files. There we discussed pointers, concepts, and file management, how to handle the files and associated programs we discussed there. Now we will discuss the third unit, that is Introduction to Data Structures. The outcome of the course is to describe data structures and different types of linked list. In this unit, we will learn details of data structures and types of linked list. Before starting the unit, let me show you the concepts that will be discussed in subsequent sessions. We study this unit in two parts. That is, in first part, Introduction to Data Structures, which will cover introduction, characteristics of data structures, types of data structures, and various operations performed on data structures. This is part 1. Second part, linked list. The concepts covered in this part: introduction, basic concepts of linked list, and linked list implementation. What are the methods used to implement the linked list? Types of linked list. Along with that, we will discuss the basic concepts of circular linked list and doubly linked list. Together, these two parts will take 10 hours. That is, the duration of the third unit, teaching duration is 10 hours. Okay, students? So, in the first session, we will discuss these concepts, that is introduction of data structures, terminologies associated with the data structures, characteristics of data structures, and advantages of data structures. So before starting, first let's have a look on definition of data structures. That is, what is data structure? Data structure is the way of organizing and storing data in a computer system so that it can be used efficiently. Data structure it is organizing and storing. ಸೊ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟಾವನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ವೈ ಒನ್ ಶುಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್? What is the need of data structures? Let us consider some problems. For example, I have set of items or I have a list. For example, grocery list ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. So there I am preparing a list and adding the items names to the list. So what type of data structure should I use? There is a need of array data structure. ಅದೊಂದು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So such problem situation we need data structures. Suppose I want to add an item to the list and I also want to remove an item from the list, or I want to search an item in the list. So given list ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಐಟಮ್ ನಾನು ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತೀನಿ, ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಐಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತೀನಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಇದ್ದಂತ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಐಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಇಂಥ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಅರೇ ಅಥವಾ ಹ್ಯಾಶ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಸಚ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸಿಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಸಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಿಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಎರಡು ಸಿಟಿಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಸಿಟಿ ಎ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿಟಿ ಬಿ, ಇವೆರಡು ಸಿಟಿಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಶಾರ್ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾತ್ ಯಾವುದಂತ ನಾನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ paths or alternative paths from A to B. I want to find a best solution which gives the shortest paths. So ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಸಿ ಮೆನಿ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಡೇ ಟು ಡೇ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. And nowadays, big companies such as Google, Facebook, Twitter, they are focusing mainly on efficient usage of data. Right? So data ವನ್ನು efficient way ದಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ we need data structures. Okay students, that is why data structures and algorithms are called heart of the computer science. ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತೀರಾ. 5th ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ಸ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್. ಇವೆರಡು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, some of the examples of data structures are arrays, linked list, stack, queues, graphs, trees, etc. We will discuss these concepts in detail in subsequent sessions. Major applications of data structures are in operating system, compiler design, artificial intelligence, graphics, algorithms, and many more. Okay students, so operating system subject kuda ನೀವು ಇದೇ ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತೀರಾ. There we come across the concepts like process management, process scheduling, file management, memory management, hardware level resource management. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. For the implementation of these many concepts we need data structures. Okay, in compiler design, lexical analysis, parse tree construction, symbol table constructions. So compiler design ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್, nowadays we can see many more applications of artificial intelligence where data structures are used in a efficient way, which are addressing many of our real life problems. Right? For example, counting the steps. ನಾವು ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿಲ್ಲ, ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್, ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ವಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ ಯೂಸೇಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ಸ್, ಫೋಟೋಶಾಪ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಫೋಟೋನ ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಗ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೆನಿ ಮೋರ್. ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ slides what are the real time applications of data structures. So let me show you this picture. What is this, students? This is a screenshot of C compiler, turbo C compiler you can say, right? So for the development of compiler we use data structures. So here it is another picture, Windows 10. This is an operating system by Microsoft company. We have many operating systems like Linux. In Linux, Red Hat, Ubuntu, Fedora, many versions of many Linux operating systems available. By Microsoft, we have many operating systems such as Windows 7, Windows NT, Windows XP, currently Windows 10. For the design and development of the operating system, we use data structures. Okay, students, Photoshop. Here also we use data structures. So can you guess this what picture it is? This is a picture of booking a movie ticket, online movie ticket booking. So we can see the seat arrangement in two-dimensional array, rows and column wise. If I book this red marked seat, which is first row, second column, which is a two-dimensional array of one of two, right? So underlying concept of this movie ticket booking layout is data structure, that is two-dimensional array. Okay, students, this is another real-time example. Let me show you one more example which we use in our day-to-day life. Who don't listen the music? Of course, everyone will listen the music. In mobile, there is a music player, right? You can see this symbol, one pointing towards forward and another pointing towards backward. So this, if you click this one, it will start playing the next song, and this is previous song. So how exactly they are framed in the memory or the file? They are linked with one another. This points to the next song. So here, linked list concepts or data structures are utilized. Okay, students. So in our life, many of the time we faced this one. We need to stand in a queue. It may be in a bank or in ATM or in college or in hospital. Many of the time in our life, we faced this situation. So what happens exactly here? The person who comes at the first, he will be served at the counter, and the person who is comes last, he will be served at last. First come, first serve basis, right? What is this? This is a stack where elements are placed one above the other, and the element which comes last is served first, and the element which comes first is served at last. Okay, so this is stack data structure, and this is queue data structure. Okay, students. So this is one of the bank application. So here we can initiate the transaction either through machine or nowadays we are using UPI IDs. So once we put the transaction, it goes over the application server where the transaction is served at its turn. Meaning is to say, in such application, queue data structure is used for performing the transactions. So now you focus this picture. It is a picture of Google Map of the city Bangalore, right? So where surrounding cities are connected through the roads. So here also data structure are used. What type of data structures? Graphs data structure is used. A graph, it's a combination of vertices and edges. Okay, students, each city is marked as one vertex and another city, both cities are connected via an edge. Okay, students. Who don't know these names, right? Uber, Ola, these are car services, taxi service, and this is online food services. Okay, Zomato and Swiggy. So these companies utilize location based services. They make use of the user's location and take the orders online and accept it and serves the food to the ordered items from the respective restaurant. Similarly, Uber or Ola, they make use of the user's location and the taxi will be sent to the respective users and service is given. So here also data structures are used. Getting students? For more clarity purpose, let me show you one video which explains nicely how data structures are used in our day-to-day life. I have taken this video from log2base2.com website. Also, this video is available in their YouTube channel. Let us see this video.
Hello everyone. So in this video, we are going to learn why should you learn data structures. We are going to learn something very interesting. So in our day-to-day life, many applications such as web browser, Google Map, music player, movie ticket booking apps use some of the data structure concepts. So this video will give you a better understanding of why should you learn data structures. So let us learn how data structures play a major role in our day-to-day life. So we all must have used online ticket booking systems at least once. It might be for booking tickets for train or maybe bus or flights or movies or any other shows. If we want to book any seat, it is just a matter of clicking on a square and it will be booked. But have you ever wondered that this is a two-dimensional array and this seat, which is in row 3 and column 4, is seat of 3, 4. So that is a real-life application of an array. Now let us understand a browser's working. So we are first going to a web page www.google.com. And now we are visiting the website log2base2.com. Now there is a YouTube link. Now we click there and we go to that address. So whenever we visit a web page, see that URL is stored here. Now we can click on the back button and go to last visited web page. See, when we click here, we are back to log2base2.com. And from there, we can go back to www.google.com as well. And we are familiar with these operations of a browser. And this is actually an application of stack, which follows the last in first out principle. That is, who came last will be gone out first. So simply by clicking a back button, we can go to last visited website. So that is how a stack is useful in our daily life. And we all have stood in a queue at somewhere in our life, maybe at a bank, a restaurant, a college, etc. And who comes first in the queue will be served first and can go out like this. That is first in first out principle, which is exactly what a queue data structure is. Who comes first will be served first. But stack was last in first out. Who came last will be served first. Now, can you think of any application for linked list? See, we all have music player in our phones and will have songs in it. Suppose you have 4 songs in your phone. After playing song 1, song 2 will be played. Then song 3 will be played and then song 4 will be played. Like that. It doesn't stop after playing one song. The next song will be played. So, the songs are connected just the way nodes are connected in a linked list. So this is an application of a syncly linked list. In a syncly linked list, the nodes are connected in a single way. So we can go to song 3 from song 2, but we cannot go in backwards. And in doubly linked list, the nodes are connected in both directions. So we can go either way. So we can play song 1, then song 2, then song 3, and from song 3 we can play song 4 as well as song 2. That is, we will have both previous and next buttons. So bidirectional navigation is possible. And after all the songs are played, the music player will stop playing. But sometimes we play a playlist in a repeat mode, so that after the last song is completed, the first song will start playing again and it will play in this cyclic mode and will never stop. So that is a circular linked list. The last node is connected to the first node again. That is, the last song is connected to the first song again and it will repeat the playlist. So that is how linked lists are useful in our daily life. Now, everybody uses Google Map. And can you guess which data structure it uses? Google Map actually uses the graph data structure where all the cities and states are connected as a graph with distance information. If we want to go from Tamil Nadu to Delhi, there might be many ways, but using some algorithms, we can select the shortest path, which saves a lot of time. For example, this way it takes 1000 kilometers, and this one will take 1500 kilometers, and this one will take 2000 kilometers. And the shortest path is 1000 kilometers, and we can proceed with this one. So that is how data structures play a major role in our day to day life. In the upcoming series, we will learn how to
Okay, students, I hope you understood actual application of data structures in our day-to-day life. Okay, students. Now let us discuss the basic terminologies that are associated with data structures. Now let us discuss these terminologies. Coming to the first one, data. What is data? Data is a recorded fact or it is a unit of information. The data can be numeric or alphanumeric, right? For example, height of a person. If I take height of a person, it will become a data. Or name of the student. Okay, so such thing will represent the data. Next, record. What is record? Record is a collection of related data. For example, information about a student, name of the student, registration number of the student, semester of the student, what is the grade points obtained by that student. So that will become a record. So basically we can say it is one row information is called a record. Next, coming to file. File is a collection of records. Okay, student. See, these are related to each other. So I repeat it. Data is a recorded fact and record is a collection of data items and file is a collection of records. Let me show you one file, how a file is. Okay, see here. So here, this file consists of these many records having the field names, mobile number, program, division, district, college, right, name of the persons. Okay, so these are the records, right? So one row I can say it is one record, which is a collection of data, right? And this is second record, followed by third, fourth, fifth. So totally this file is having many number of records. So this is called a file. Okay, students. Now coming to the attribute and entity. Entity is a real-time object, a real-time entity. Attribute represents the property of the entity, such as color of a person, height of a person, name, mobile number, address. So this is attribute. And coming to the last terminology called field. Field is a piece of data. If I take any of the cell in this, let me show you once again this file, right? If I take any cell, right, that becomes a field. Okay, students. So this is a part of or it's a piece of information or piece of data, that we call it as feed. Okay students, this is about the terminologies which are frequently used in data structures. Fine. Now let us discuss the characteristics of data structures. From the exam point of view, the characteristics of data structure is important. In exam, he may ask the definition of data structure. Along with that, he may also ask the characteristics of data structures. Okay, students. So focus on the characteristics of data structures. So it depicts the logical representation of data in computer memory. As we already discussed, data structure is a way of organizing and storing data in computer system so that it can be utilized efficiently. It represents the logical relationship between various data elements, and it helps in efficient manipulation of stored data elements. By using various data manipulation techniques, we can manipulate the stored data elements. It allows the programs to process the data in an efficient manner. So this data structure will allow the programs to process the data, right? So data structure, it can be linear or non-linear, homogeneous, non-homogeneous, or heterogeneous. Okay, a linear describes data structures whether the data items are arranged in sequential form like an array, or a non-linear data structure describes the characteristics of data items that are not in sequential form like trees or graphs. Homogeneous. A data structure, its characteristic of data structures represents whether data type of all elements is the same. Homogeneous ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ತರದ ಡೇಟಾ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೋಮೋಜಿನಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫೋನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಫೋನ್ ನಂಬರ್ is a type of integer. All phone numbers in the list are of homogeneous. Non-homogeneous means what? Data items of different type. For example, names, combination of names and mobile number, address. So it is a characteristic of data structures representing whether the data type elements may or may not be the same. And a data structure is a dynamic. It is a dynamic data structure that defines the shrinking and expanding of data items at the runtime or program's execution, that we will see in the linked list. It is also related to the utilization of memory location that can be changed at the programmer's runtime. For example, linked list. So dynamically ನಾವು ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. Linked list ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. It defines some roles to display the relationship between data items and how they interact with each other. This is one of the characteristics of data structure, is to define some rules to display the relationship between data items and how they interact with each other. Data structure has some operations used to perform on data items like insertion, searching, deletion, etc. So at the beginning of the session, I discussed why to use data structures. To perform such operations, insertion, that is adding an item, searching the item and removing the items. Okay, to perform such operations we use data structures. So data structures helps in these many operations. It helps in reducing the usage of memory resources. By efficient usage of some algorithmic techniques, we can reduce the memory resources. And very important thing in data structure is time complexity and space complexity. Time complexity deals with how fast the program executes, or what is the minimum possibility that a program can execute. And space complexity deals with memory usage through all data items in a data structure should be less possible. That means it should take minimum memory space. So these are the characteristics of data structures. Okay, students. Now let us discuss the last part of this session, advantages of data structures. One of the advantage of data structure is efficiency. By using the data structures, we can manage the computing processes in an efficient way. Suppose the efficiency and organization of a program depend on the selection of right data structures. Suppose if you want to search for a particular item from a collection of data records, in that case we have to use a linear data structures like array, on which sequential search can be used. Though it is efficient, but it takes maximum time. It consumes lot of time in searching. So to reduce that, we can use another technique, that is binary search, which almost reduces half of the time. Okay, students. So in this way, efficiency is increased. So data structure, by using the data structure, we can ensure the efficiency. Another advantage of data structure is reusability. That is, data structures are reusable. Okay, in data structure, many operations make programs reusable. Once write it, later you reuse it. For example, when we write programs or implement a particular data structure, we can use it from any source location or place to get some results. Okay, students. Another advantage is abstraction. So what do you mean by abstraction? So the top level applications, they don't know exactly what the data hierarchy is present at the back end. That we call it as abstraction. The data structure is maintained by the ADT. ADT means abstract data type, which provides different levels of abstraction. The client can interact with data structures only through the interface, right? Client application don't know what is there inside the application. Just it can interact with the system and it can fetch us whatever the information it wants. The data structure helps to simplify the process of collection of data through the software systems, and also it is used to save collection data storage on a computer that can be used by various programs. So these are the advantages of data structures. Okay, students. So in today's session, we discussed the definition of data structure, why we need data structures, right? And what are the real-time applications of data structures? Along with the real-time examples, we discussed the application of data structures, and also we discussed characteristics of the data structure and advantages of data structures. So here we conclude the first session of third unit. Dear students, if you have any doubt or clarification, please write us at lms.dtk@gmail.com. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next session. Thank you.